Hello YouTube, I hope that you are doing very well today. Thank you for joining me. I am going to create a video that I do not have the time to edit. It will not be as refined as some of my other video efforts, but I feel like I have to communicate this with you quickly, that I think it is time sensitive, and I do hope that you can get something from it that is constructive. There are all sorts of questions abounding regarding the hard sell of the knockout games. I am sure, like in various shootings, weapon sales are going to increase. As a law-abiding citizen that still carries and is a Second Amendment supporter, I have seen the easily marked polarity in the gun community. I have witnessed it for over 20 years. About 40% of all the white gun owners that I have seen, again, that I have witnessed, are thoroughly indoctrinated with certain political rhetoric. Some are paranoid, some irresponsible, and some bloodlusting idiots that are truly dangerous and should never own a weapon. That is not a racial dig. It is, however, a valid observation. I say it not to be racially divisive or to be divisive, period, but to share a fact that I have witnessed in my experience. If the Fox News Network gets behind this, like CNN and MSNBC got behind the Trayvon Martin case, then it is only a matter of time before someone is mistakenly killed. Of course, I also see a closet non-black racists using this as an opportunity to murder blacks. Then add the Jewish element and things become very sticky indeed. There is already a growing dislike regarding the Jews within America with certain white people. Some well-indoctrinated racists like to blur the lines between Zionists and Jewish. They are not one and the same. No matter what anyone tells you, please do the research. They are not incapable of being disentangled. First, it is important that you know something about me. I am against all senseless violence. There is no place for that in a supposed civilized country. Also, I am against the concept of hate crimes. I have addressed this in other videos, so I'm not going to rehash it here. However, some whites, unfortunately, they have their share of nutters within the ranks, so certain people don't take them seriously, but maybe it would be to our advantage to listen to all information before determining to discount it, to truly listen and to seek truth, no matter who it comes from. There are some whites that appear to be pushing that the media has ignored the severity of this event or events around the country until it surfaced in a Jewish neighborhood. This may be true, I do not pretend to know. Obviously, it is building tension in certain circles. Since Rodney King, it has been made clear to me that certain factions within our government would love to utilize this as an opportunity to generate racial conflict that may turn into a race war, and of course then would lead to martial law. We live in a country that has been promoted on the illusion of harmony. It has presented itself as a family. Truly, it is a dysfunctional family, if it is a family at all. A melting pot. So it is no surprise it conceals violently agitated and turbulent conflicts of interest. Of course, the fear-driven, lazy minion behaving counterparts, no matter the subset within the human experience, are presenting a challenge to the rational, thinking people who are not on the side of violence, needless disturbance, or general pathology. Of course, they do not see they have tainted the American culture just as much as anyone resorting to mindless aggression. The deceit I have witnessed being promoted among certain gun owners who appear either bonkers or closet racists is that of all of the times a gun is used to stop a crime, that most of the incidents are a white person being attacked by a black person. They have no verifiable evidence, and I will say this. As long as the prison industrial complex is immune from the intellectual attack from the rational people within this country, all that comes from it that is disseminated to the general public should be held suspect at best. If you think that I am implying that the prison industrial complex is in cahoots with some faction of the alphabet agencies like the CIA, FBI, then you would be correct. It is a gut feeling. It is something that I have reasoned based on information that I have accumulated over many years. If they are indeed not in cahoots with this group or groups, then they are definitely understood by certain government machines that allow this activity to occur. So, like a boomerang, the question returns to us. Suspect of what, you may ask? The statistical information provided by various alphabet agencies, illustrating the disproportionate trends in racial violence. That should definitely be on high scrutiny. We should examine that information thoroughly before tossing it around. History is not on the side of alphabet agencies when it comes to disseminating truth to the American public. So it doesn't surprise me that certain whites think particular enclaves of Jews and liberals have interfered with the laws that allow them the ability to defend themselves from black people who commit crimes. Of course, they think of themselves as being on the right side of things. Among all of the other problems that we are facing, we have yet another one. That is, with tensions running so high within this country, there are many people who are not thinking. It will become difficult to determine who is telling the truth because they fail to think, because they give in to fear, because they have their personal agendas that do not conform to actuality, or I should say require integrity. Many blacks have a long history within the United States of being anti-gun. With all of the violence that has been done within the black communities, I can understand why. It would be in your favor, however, to purchase protection, and I will state the obvious because of the crazy racists that abound. They are growing every day. And of course, they don't see any need for you to be here, and they wish you dead. The other obvious concern is safety from those that may look like you and that may not have your best interest at heart, of course, because they wish to take from you. They wish to do ill to you. Therefore, it would be in your best interest to understand that you have to take your self-defense seriously. For those not able to get training, and I do suggest whenever you purchase a weapon that you get training, that you get a good holster, that you practice. Of course, you get a good holster if it is a handgun. If it is a long gun, that you have proper way to store it. And again, that you practice. Very important. But you do need training. Maybe some of the former military out there would be able to provide that for you, or to at least give you assistance in guiding you where to go. When I made my first video about the knockout games, I made it clear this has been around for some time. But because it was labeled differently, I did not realize until recently that it has been around for a very long time. I am a child of the 60s. I remember definitely seen this before. And I have newspaper articles of whites doing the same thing to blacks in the 70s. Call me a liar if you will, I have proof. Though it was covered by the local paper, there was no severe push for the media coverage to continue or to go national, though it lasted for some time. Once again, I must state how revealing it is to live in a country where violence matters most when it is done to a member of the so-called majority. And yes, I have said many times before that the media is not a friend to any group. They do what they are told to do. However, it is obvious to me that the majority representation favors the attention of the media when it comes to violence. And you know what? That's just wrong, wrong, wrong. It should be the media should go where the action is, no matter what group is represented, favorably or negatively. Actuality should be reported. This is how we make good decisions as a country, when we have good information coming from a credible source. I will repeat a point that I made during my first video effort when I addressed the knockout games. Violent people, unless they have a specific agenda, do not care who they attack. You see, your phenotypical traits come second, maybe even third, to the fact of vulnerability and opportunity. Of course, some whites are counting on the Jewish to do something about this fiasco. The reason being because they believe that the Jews have encouraged the supposed anti-white atmosphere within America that they are constantly, supposedly, experiencing. It would appear that they may have a point when it comes to the fact that an attack has to happen to a Jewish person in order to capture the attention of one of our representatives. It does appear that Republican State Assemblyman Jim Tedesco, I think that's the correct pronunciation, maybe not, capital Tedisco, that this individual felt it to be appropriate to act rather quickly. Funny how quickly one can propose a bill that would classify the knockout games as an attack by a gang, that it is considered or should be considered a gang assault. But these same people could not help black communities around the country when we were attempting to get their attention, when we were trying to keep our communities safe from the criminals that looked like us, and sometimes that did not look like us. I guess you have to be white to get any semblance of true, consistent justice in America. I said it once, and I will say it again. We all are being played. We're being played hard. The individual crime actions are being used to create deeper and deeper levels of division. One last note to any black youth who are or that are thinking of participating in these games, this criminal activity. I may not be able to appeal to you on a moral level. Maybe I can, however, appeal to you based on your own self-interest. So listen up. When it comes to blacks and the American prison population, there is a reason why the growth is so significant, and this is not considering those who deserve to be there because of their actions. Again, the list that I am going to provide is outside of the realm of the fact of those who have earned their position, okay? The American prison population has grown tremendously when it comes to blacks due to racism, judicial unfairness, police state toughness, political persecution, 3 strikes and you're out type of policies, which are severely rigid, truth in sentencing, mandatory minimums, and this new reality that all of us will be facing sooner or later, but especially the so-called minorities are facing it now. And that is guilty unless proven innocent. That mentality is very, very prevalent with our police, also the judicial system. Thank you for your time. I hope that you will give serious consideration to these things that I have shared with you today. And I hope that you will share your thoughts. Thank you.